I'm muted. Sorry about that. I have to do that intro again now. Armagh 111, Galway 13 points. Armagh are All-Ireland champions. This is not a drill. This is not a dream. This is real life. This has happened. Armagh have won the All-Ireland. Incredible. The first time since 2002 that they win the All-Ireland. Just the second time in their history. You would have saw some of the post-match scenes that I endured on the hill, having got a ticket very late to the game, very, very late to the game. Kind of incredible, really. But I got to the game. I was on the hill. I was on the Nally, but kind of the hill, really. And the atmosphere was insane. The celebrations, the singing, seeing grown men, grown women, children, adults, everyone, tears in their eyes. It was incredible to witness. Galway fans distraught, heartbroken. And look, maybe as a spectacle, as a game, it probably wasn't the best All-Ireland final we've probably ever seen. I think anyone who watched the game at home would probably say that and haven't looked at Twitter and everything else. But for myself, being there as a neutral, like not having a dog in the race, obviously as a Dublin fan myself, but just it was so absorbing. It was so gripping. It was so, every tackle was cheered. Every pass was cheered. Every miss was cheered. Everything was so absorbing, and in many ways it was absolutely brilliant, and it was so great to witness. And the fans as well, and the noise on the hill at different stages as well. Like, I've been to a lot of Dublin games down the years on the hill. I think the only atmosphere I could say that was better than the one I experienced today was maybe 2011 when Dublin won the All-Ireland that year. But the atmosphere today was absolutely incredible from second to none, and fair play to Armagh fans, fair play to Galway fans for bringing the noise. It was absolutely brilliant. But look, in terms of the game itself, it was very cagey starting out. It was very cagey in the first half. I think both teams were somewhat nervous. There was unusual misses at different times. Like Shane Walsh had a very off day today, and we'll get onto that. He was missing chances. Connor Turbo, I remember, missed a relatively routine free in front of goal. They missed another mark as well, which bizarrely went wide. Like, both teams, there was a little bit of nervousness there. I felt like Galway were overplaying the ball. They were overpassing it, doing too much, whereas Armagh were a bit more direct. They were running at Galway a lot more. Galway had the majority of the possession of the ball, but Armagh, to be fair to them, were brilliant, and they were very direct in their running. Paul Conroy, outstanding in the first half. The more the game went on, the more he sort of came out of the game, but he was absolutely brilliant. Keane Darcy was outstanding as well, like 3 points each from both of them, so 6 points from your midfield. Like, that's absolutely brilliant, in fairness. And Conroy was really dictating the way this game was going in the first half with his passes, but also some of his points were absolutely brilliant as well. Killy McDade, very good with 2 points. John Maher, I thought, had a good game as well. But it was just neck and neck, and you couldn't really call it. Like, a half time, 6 points apiece. Galway, like, the lead was never bigger than 2 points ever in this game. Like, it was so even. It was almost surprising that it didn't go to extra time, and it didn't even go to a replay, because you felt like there was really nothing to separate both of these two teams for the majority of the game. For the majority of the game, and I think it was very even. It was back and forth. But I think the big moment and the big turning point in the game was, of course, the goal for Armagh. Really brilliant goal. Like, Stephen Campbell initially does brilliant work. Obviously coming on as a substitute just a minute before. I think it was the first play that he was involved in as well. Ham passes it into the dangerous area, and Aaron McCoy is the man to get there and pounce it home. And I think, like, after that point, Armagh went 2 points in front, and I think Galway just lost the run of themselves a little bit, and I think they panicked. And I think it's the first time really all year that we've seen that from Galway, that we've seen them in, like, going down the home stretch where they have panicked. There was some unusual misses, like Shane Walsh. Like, I got a good enough view of him from where I was standing on the Nally terrace, and he didn't look right at all. There's definitely an injury there, in my opinion. Like, he was hobbling. He looked like he was playing through the pain barrier, but, like, he wasn't. With them frees, he just kept hitting them short. He definitely couldn't get a good enough grip or a good enough power on the boot, and there's obviously some sort of an injury there. I'm absolutely convinced of it. But yeah, he had a very, very poor day at the office. Comer was fairly anonymous. Robert Finnerty obviously goes off injured, which was huge as well, because he's such a big player from a Galway perspective. And like the chances did open up. Like Armagh had a 3-point lead going into injury time. That was cut back to 2. And Galway had chances. They sliced one wide. Walsh dropped one short. Even after, Armagh hit the post going down the other end, Galway still had chances to level it, but they just couldn't take those chances. And I think ultimately for Galway, I think they lost the run of themselves a little bit, and they panicked in the big moments. And you could see watching this final that it was two teams that haven't been to an All-Ireland. Obviously, Galway were there 2 years ago, but it's two teams that haven't won an All-Ireland. None of these players have won an All-Ireland at senior level. Maybe some have won All-Irelands at club level, but none of them had won it at inter-county level. And you could see that really because there were some unusual mistakes. There were some unusual moments, players giving the ball away in silly areas, unforced turnovers at the best of times. But Armagh, look, they took their moments. They took their chances. And in fairness to them, like Oisín Connaughty, really, really good game. And Aidan Forker, like he was absolutely outstanding as well. Like an absolute colossal of a game from him. He was absolutely brilliant. Ben Creeley, Niall Grimley, very, very good as well. Oisín O'Neill coming off the bench, getting a point. And Armagh just took their chances, took their moments going down the home stretch, whereas Galway didn't. And in a game that was so even, both sides playing in a very similar way, it was always going to go down to, the fine moments, the fine margins. And that was ultimately what settled it. Like for Galway, they'll be absolutely kicking themselves. I think probably more so than if Armagh had have lost the game. I think if Armagh had have lost the game, they would have been distraught and upset and everything else. But I think at the same time, for Armagh, like, well, I suppose at the same time, because it would have been another near miss, wouldn't it? It would have been another near miss. But I think for Galway, 2 All-Ireland final defeats now in 3 years, it's just, it will hurt this one. And I think this one will hurt more than the Kerry one, to be honest with you, just because I think the game, like the game was there for Armagh, but the game was there for Galway as well. And the way they missed those chances at the end, it was very unlike them. It was very, very unlike them. Like I've seen some people say, like, should Comer have come off? Should Matthew Tierney have come off, like in the final 5 or 6 minutes? Comer, I thought, was very quiet. We know he's had a lot of injury problems this year. Was there an injury there? We don't know. Matthew Tierney, I thought was having an all right game, to be fair. Like he was setting things up. He was making things happen. But maybe those decisions by Pádraig Joyce, in hindsight, maybe weren't the best decisions. And yeah, that's very much it. We'll fly through some comments here. Dermot says, I like that orange top. Yeah, do you know what? I was just out of the shower, saw this top, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on. It's the fact that it just appeared in front of me. I think it's, I think it's superstition and all that. Stockroom Tim says, up Armagh. Tom says, Dubs, Kerry, Galway will be back, but tonight we'll take the win. Yeah, don't be worried about who's going to be back or whatever. But I think for Armagh, like this will do absolute wonders to them, to McGeeney, for the players. Like the fact they've gotten over the line now, like the majority of those players had never won anything. You know what I mean? Like barring a few county titles, they'd never won anything. Had never won an Ulster title at underage level. They didn't win anything. Like so. This was absolutely huge for them, and I think it could now kick them on and take them on to another level. Like I remember making a video a couple of years ago about Armagh. I think it was in 2023, I think it was, the start of 2023, talking about how they're very dangerous. Like they have so much potential. They have a young enough core, young enough group. I think attacking-wise, they're more than enough players that can hurt other teams. Physically, very, very strong. It was just, can they take that step? Can they get over the line? Can they find a way to hang on in some of these games? And now they've done it. And huge for McGeeney, like the praise and the chance and everything in his name and the support that he was getting at full time was absolutely brilliant to see. And I think, for a man like him who's taken obviously a lot of slack, absolutely incredible stuff from him from an Armagh perspective. And Tim says here as well, delighted for McGeeney. Yeah, me too, because he has had a lot of stick. He has taken a lot of slack over the last couple of years. But today, his team delivered. And do you know what the thing is with Armagh? Like, Armagh have gotten a lot of credit or a lot of criticism over the last year for maybe when games have been in the melting pot, for not going for it, for not taking their chances, for not taking enough risks. But today they did. And I honestly think that was the difference, you know? I think that was the difference. Like when Stephen Campbell's going through there, he has the tenacity to play the ball in such a dangerous area, and then Aaron McCoy gets it. Like, most of the time when Galway were getting into those positions, they would either go for the point or they would recycle it and they would move backwards. And I think, in fairness, that was brilliant from Stephen Campbell. But I think Armagh's defence, though, deserves massive, massive credit, because Galway did not have a sniff of a goal in this game. Like, they didn't even have half of a goal chance in this game whatsoever. Like, Aaron McCoy, he was absolutely brilliant. Tiernan Kelly, very, very good. Paddy Burns, Barry McCambridge as well. Like, defensively, they were outstanding. Blaine Hughes with kickouts, absolutely brilliant as well. Like, defensively, so sound. Like, Comer not in the game at all. Matthew Tierney not in the game. Shane Walsh, very poor by his own standards. And I think you have to credit the Armagh defence there as well, who are absolutely brilliant. Acer says here, wearing my orange polo shirt in pub today. Yeah, do you know what? Like, it's a day for orange, isn't it? It's a day for orange. Yeah, Tim says, and all of Mayo can breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, I think they can, because I think seeing Galway win the All-Ireland, I don't think they would have been very happy about it. And what is it with teams from the West and All-Ireland finals? Like, for Galway, that's 2 now in 3 years, and it's just, when you lose one, it's a sob story. It's hard luck, blah blah. Then when you lose another in a couple of years, it's right. Well, what is this now? Is this a mental block, or what is it? Because they had the chances towards the end. They 100% had chances to at least get this game to extra time, if not even win the game. You know, so yeah, they'll be kicking themselves in regards to that. But look, fair play to Armagh. Like, what a story it is for them as well. Losing back-to-back Ulster finals on penalties. Everyone criticising them. Nobody gave them a chance at winning the All-Ireland this year, from what I've heard. Like, I didn't think they'd win the All-Ireland this year, to be honest with you. Didn't see it coming. Didn't think they'd have enough going down the home stretch to get over the line. But here they are, and they've done it, you know, and fair play to them. Fair play to them for doing it, for getting over the line. And yeah, absolutely huge. And you know, I think this could elevate them now. Like, I think, look, winning back-to-back All-Irelands or anything like that, it's very, very hard to do. I think only Dublin and Kerry have done it since the turn of the century. But they're not going to go anywhere. McGeeney's not going to go anywhere, I don't think. Some will say maybe it's a great time to step away, but you can't step away now. Like, now you're on the cusp of it. Now you could go and you could win it again. You could win an Ulster title, which I'm sure will be a big focus. So there we go. Tom says, we love Galway. We are all Gaels. Yeah, look, I'm sure Galway fans do love Galway, and Galway is a great city and all the rest. But yeah, look, they won't be going anywhere either, Galway. Like, maybe Comer, Walsh, like, these lads are getting on a bit, but like, a lot of their core players still have a lot of younger players, like Jack Lynn, for example, Dylan McHugh. Like, I think a lot of these lads, Killy McDade, they'll still be around. Cian Darcy, they'll still be there for the next couple of years. It was just one of them things. Like, this game could have really went either way. And I think it was just that goal that knocked the stuffing out of Galway, and it took them a while to recover from it. And I think maybe they were just overplaying the ball, overpassing it. There was times where they could have went for the point and they didn't. They seemed reluctant to go for goal at times, and I think that came back to bite them. A lot of indecisiveness going down the home stretch. But yeah, fair play to Armagh. As I said before, was at the game. So there will be a match day vlog out tomorrow at some stage. And yeah, like, some of the scenes from some of the supporters, like, yeah, like, it was kind of mad just standing there, obviously, as a neutral, not celebrating, obviously, because it's not my own county, but at the same time, taking it all in, seeing the fans, seeing the crowd. Yeah, it was extraordinary, really. And obviously for Galway, commiserations to them. But overall, still a very good season for Galway. Beating Dublin, beating Donegal en route to the final. They'll feel the pain of it now. There's no doubt about that. But I think overall, they will look back at this year with success. And I don't think they're a million miles off. Like, Galway could win the All-Ireland next year. I don't think it's inconceivable, to be honest with you. I think they're very, very close. So it's one of them things. But look, fair play to Armagh. Congratulations to them. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss the game in more details and everything else. And of course, there will be a vlog out on the game as well. So yeah, anyone who tuned in, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Congratulations to Armagh, and we'll speak to you all again.